Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Pharmacy Tech Love. This is where you're learning everything that you need to know about how to be a pharmacy technician. Hi, I would like to show support to Miss Cynthia Tyous. She is the creator of the company Creative Pen Rights. She has 2 best-selling books. One of those is God's Closet, which you can pick up on Amazon. And she also has another, and it is named Can Pink Elephants Fly? So please check her out and support her. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Pharmacy Tech Love. And if this is your very first time visiting my channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the little bell, because if you do not, you will not be notified of anything that I post. So please make sure you hit the bell. A lot of you have been asking and requesting for this video, and this one is how to calculate an insulin day supply. And it's super easy. I think you guys may be just kind of overthinking it just a little too much, but I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how. This is how I teach my students. So I think you guys will get it as well. And if you have questions, you can always put it in the comments. And if I have to do another video to try to simplify it even further, I can try my best to. If you are right now trying to aspire to become a pharmacy technician, make sure you go to the website denalirx.com. I will put it in the description, okay? It's like a learning platform, and it also comes with games. It has so much, understand, this is not just for pharmacy technicians. This is for anyone that's getting into the medical field that needs to know their brands and generics, needs to know math. There's some math videos on there. It takes you from the website to YouTube and shows you how to do math videos. It shows you your PPEs, how to don, meaning how to put on your personal protective equipment. I mean, there's so much. I could go on and on and on, but I can't, because there's so much on there. And it's not expensive. I think it starts out at $19.99. If you use my discount code pharmacytechlove, I think you will get I can't remember, but I think it brings it down to $16.99. Okay, make sure you support Miss Cynthia Tyous in the previous clip that I showed you about her books. They are really good, so make sure you check it out. I'll also leave that link in the description as well. All right, let's get into it, because I know that you guys are ready to see this video. So let's get into it. Okay, we are learning how to calculate insulin day supply. So let's break this down before we actually get to the day supply. Okay, this says Humulin R, and this U means units 500. So whenever you see a insulin vial, it will actually have U 500 or 100, depending on however many units it is per milliliter. That's why I have this right here. So there's going to be 500 units per milliliter. So every time you have a milliliter, that's 500 units. If you have two milliliters, that's 1,000 units. If you have 3 milliliters, that's 1,500 units, and so on, okay? All right, so it says that for this patient, we're going to dispense them 20 milliliters, which is going to be 2 vials. So there'll be 2 vials of 10 milliliters each, okay? So if we have 500 units at 1 meal, then we need to multiply 500 times 10 meals, because each vial is 10 meals, but instead we have 2 vials. So it's actually going to be times 20 meals, okay? All right, so the SIG, which means the directions. It says administer 115 units subcutaneously, 30 minutes ACs before meals. If you don't know your SIG codes, you need to work on those. Before meals, which this one says before breakfast, and 85 units subcutaneously, 30 minutes before meals again, which the meals are listed, which is before lunch and dinner. So we need to figure out how many units this patient is going to be taking every day. That's the first thing we need to do. So in the morning, they're taking 115 units. We're just going to put this right over here. So this is how much they're taking in the morning. Now for lunch and dinner, they're going to be taking 85 units. So 85 times 2 is going to be Oh, I did write that down wrong. Okay, I have that incorrect on my sheet, but I can still add it up. I have the 30. Okay, so we have 115 units. Let me get my calculator since I miscalculated that one. Okay, so for breakfast, they're taking 115 units. And then for lunch and dinner, they're taking 85 units. So 85 times 85 is 170. So if someone could add that up for me really quick, and I'm going to add that together myself. So we have 115 units plus 170. So how many units are they taking every day? They're taking 285 units. Now that's still not our day supply, of course. That's just how much they're taking per day. All right, now, if you have been watching my channel for a while, the way that I like to instruct students on how to divide in the pharmacy is total over each. I'm just gonna write over here. Total, or over, divided by each. All right, so now we're gonna take our total amount of units and we're going to divide those units by how much the patient takes each day. Ooh, I went outside and I just feel like something is biting me. Okay, so this is how much they're taking each day. All right, so we need to figure out the total amount of units are in these two vials. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this area right here and then we're gonna have to erase it so we can do some other things here. Okay, so it's 500 units per 1 milliliter, okay? And we have 20 milliliters total. So we need to do 500 times 20 milliliters because each 1 milliliter is 500 units, but we don't have 1 milliliter, we have 20 milliliters, okay? So 500 times 20 is going to give us a total of 10,000 units. I hope you can see, I'm trying not to go too far at the bottom. 10,000 units. So what we need to do now is we need to take that total, keep that 10,000 in your head. So take that total amount of units. We have a total amount of units of 10,000 units. And what do we need to do? Total in each. Divide that by how much the patient is going to take each day. And that's going to tell us how many days those two vials are going to last. So let me get that because I wrote something totally different down. So we have 10,000 divided by 285 units. That's going to last for 35 days. Let me put it right over here. So that's going to last for 35 days. All right. Hope you can see that down there. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you've got plenty of room. So let's just do this right here because that's a little too close. So they'll last for 35 days. All right, let's work on another one. Okay, let's go to problem number 2. This one says Humulin R U500. This is a quick pen. And there's going to be 500 units per milliliter. All right, the SIG says administer 125 units subcutaneously, 30 minutes before meals. This meal is breakfast, and 80 units subcutaneously, 30 minutes before dinner. The patient receives 2 3 milliliter quick pens, okay? And each milliliter is worth 500 units. So 500 times 3, so that'll be 1,500 units, but we're actually giving this patient 2 pens, okay? So how many units is that? Because each milliliter is worth 500 units, and that's 1 milliliter, okay? But how many milliliters do we have total? There's 2 pens, and they're 3 milliliters each, so that's 6 pens. So that's 6 milliliters. So 500 units times how much? Times 6 milliliters. So that's going to give us 3,000 units. So I need you to keep that number in your head. So we have a total, that's our total. So our total is 3,000 units. I'll go ahead and put it right here, total and each. So we have a total of 3,000 units. We don't know how much the patient is taking each day just yet. Okay, again, so the patient is going to be taking 125 units before breakfast, and the patient is going to take 80 units at dinner. So I need you to add up 125 units, because that's how much they're taking for breakfast. And then they're also taking 80 units at dinner. All right, how many units will the patient be taking a day? 205 units, that's correct. This is each day, so where is this going to go in this problem? The total amount that the doctor has written them for is 3,000 units, and they're taking 205 units per day, and you're just going to divide, and that's going to give you your day supply, and it's just that easy. So this says 14.63 days, but we're going to round that to a 15-day supply. All right, got a few more. Let's work out two more. Okay, let's work this one out. This one's pretty cut and dry. This one says insulin glargine, which is Lantus, the generic for Lantus. Each vial is 100. We've been working on 500 units per meal, but now this one is 100 units per milliliter. And this vial contains 10 milliliters. So if 1 milliliter is 100 units, we need to take this 100 units and multiply it not by 1, because we have more than 1 milliliter, we have 10 milliliters. So let's multiply this by 10. So now we have 1,000 units are going to be in that 10 ml vial, okay? All right, so we need to figure out how long this is going to last. So we have our total, and each, we already have our total, which is 1,000 units, not milliliters. Don't want you to get that confused, because this vial consists of 10 milliliters, all right? And it's 100 units per 1 milliliter. So say, for instance, that vial contained 9 milliliters. It would be 900 units. If that vial contained 5 milliliters, it would be 500 units, because for each 1 milliliter is 100 units. Okay? All right. Okay, so now we need to figure out how much this patient is taking each day. And it does say, this is the SIG, inject 14 units subcutaneously every night at bedtime. That's what the QHS stands for, every night at bedtime. So each night at bedtime, he or she is going to take 14 units. And that is just simple division, and it will give you your day supply, which that is going to give us 71 days. And if that will last for that patient 71 days, they do need to make sure that they are putting it in the refrigerator, because after it is out of the refrigerator, it is only good for 28 days. Okay? All right, let's work out another one. Okay, this one says Lantus, 100 units per milliliter. The SIG is inject 60 units at bedtime, every night at bedtime. That Q means every, okay? All right, so this is a 20 ml vial. That's what this is. It's a 20 ml vial total. And 100 units per milliliter. So we don't have 1 milliliter, we have 20. So we need to multiply our units, which is 100 units, times our total milliliters, which is 20 milliliters. All right, how many units do we have in all? We have 2,000 units. That's how many we have total. So we'll do our total. And each, this is just simple division. This is just how I do it for pharmacy. All right, each day, how much is that patient taking? Can you see it up there? Taking 60 units every night at bedtime. So each night, they're taking 60 units. And we have 2,000 over 60. What do you think we need to do? Add, divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, correct. That is going to last 33 days will be how long that will last for the patient. All right, is it kind of coming to you? Kind of coming? All right, let's work out one more. Okay, this prescription is for Humalog insulin, which this one is 100 units per milliliter, all right? Now this is one vial and it contains 10 milliliters. So how many units is that? Because 100 units is 1 milliliter, 200 units is 200 milliliters, 300 units, 3 milliliters, and so forth, okay? So it's easier just to get your 100 units and multiply by however many milliliters you have, which is 10 milliliters. And now we have 1,000 units, not milliliters, of course. We do not have 1,000 milliliters because the vial only contains 10 milliliters. All right, so our total amount of units that we have is 1,000 units. Now we need to figure out how many units the patient is going to be taking each day. All right, so it says, first of all, the patient is going to inject 14 units for breakfast and lunch. So that's going to be 28 units because 14 times 2 is 28. And then they're also taking 28 units at dinner, right here, before meals, which is, that meal is going to be dinner. So that's another 28 units. So that's going to be 56 units total, is what I have. Excuse me, not total. I don't want to say that. That's going to be 56 units that they're going to be taking each day, okay? So, all right, we're going to put our 56 here because total and each. So they're going to take 56 units per day. All right, if you'll do some subtraction, some division for me. I don't want to put that under there. And that's going to tell you how many days it should last. I came up with 17.85, but I did round that to 18 days. All right. And this is how you calculate insulin day supply. I hope that's about as broken down as I can get it. If you have any questions, put it in the comments, and you guys can email me. I try to answer questions. I'm trying to start this new thing because there's so many questions. So you can go to my Linktree, you can help me out and support me. All right, have a good evening.